Welcome back to my channel, it's Joanna, and today I want to talk about baby sleep. Now, I made a video a few months ago, just pretty much when my baby hit 12 months old, talking about how his sleep had suddenly improved, how he had slept through the night, and how if he wasn't sleeping through the night, he was sleeping long stretches. And basically, the implication being that you don't need to sleep train your child because it is developmental. This is something that I massively believe. As you might be able to tell by the title and the thumbnail, my now 15-month-old is not sleeping. And I mean that, like, I am so tired and I need to talk about it. It's the only thing that, like, I have on my mind at the moment is baby sleep. I am pregnant, I'm 15 weeks pregnant, and I'm so tired, guys. Like, the past week has been really hard. The past month, ever since like the beginning of December, it's been hard. And why? I don't know. I think we had the flu in December, first of all. He is teething. He hasn't got his molars in, but his gums are so massive and swollen. They're like there. And it's kind of as if like one tooth is like pushing through and it's sore and then it stops. And then the next one and then it stops. And it's just like no respite. As I say, my child was pretty much either sleeping through the night or almost sleeping through the night. And now we're back to, like, I was up for 4 hours straight with him from 11 until 3 in the morning the other night, and I had 4 hours of sleep. So that is basically where I'm at, and I want to talk about that today. So I'm a big believer that sleep is developmental. There are loads of studies that talk about how basically sleep is quite variable over the first 2 to 3 years of life. This is largely because in the first 2 to 3 years of life, this is when the infant brain is changing rapidly and it's so vulnerable and sensitive to emotions and attachment and all these sorts of things. And there are massive skills that your child is learning. For instance, walking, crawling, talking, loads of things. Now he's 15 months old, his speech is really coming on, and I know that this is a developmental thing. And I know that it will get better, but that doesn't make it any less hard, because it's really hard. I'm suffering. He can say, I don't know, like 15 words or something, like bubble, mummy, booby. He can say loads of random stuff. And he woke up from a nap the other day and all of a sudden he was trying to combine words. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. So I can see that sleep feeds development. Now, when you Google it, and I Google it all the time, why is my 14-month-old, 15-month-old not sleeping at night? And it comes back with a plethora of things that you probably have had since like 4 months old. Baby's probably teething, it's probably their molars. Growth spurt, developmental leaps, separation anxiety, nightmares, the 5 like big things. I know he can link sleep cycles. I know he can sleep through the night. He doesn't want to, or he is emotionally not able to at the moment, and that's fine. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to feed whenever he wants milk, but that doesn't mean that it's not really hard. And I'm talking about this in the daytime as if I'm like okay about it. Oh man, I cry at night. This is hard, especially being pregnant. It's not easy. And when I search it on social media, YouTube, Google, everything comes back with people talking about like a 15-month sleep regression. And if you type in 15-month-old sleep regression on the internet, or you always get sleep consultant websites being like, your baby's going through the 14, 15, which also reassures me that A, sleep is developmental, it will get better, but also that the whole sleep training thing doesn't necessarily work, because if a sleep trainer is having to tell you that it's a developmental thing, an emotional thing, and it will pass, it reaffirms to me that sleep training is not the one fixed solution to fix your baby's sleep. They go through phases. Like, the moment that your baby is sleeping through the night and is doing really well at sleeping, sorry to break it to you, it probably won't last. Unless you've got a miracle baby with an amazing chill temperament who doesn't need your help, then you have hit the jackpot, right? But most babies are not like that. I think you just need to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever has worked, just keep doing. If you need to co-sleep, you co-sleep, as long as you're doing it safely. If you need to feed to sleep, you feed to sleep. Psychologically, these sorts of things are really nourishing for your brain. As Greer Kirschenbaum would say, it's a nurture bath for a baby's brain. And I know how stressed my baby is at night. Like, honestly, it'll be at least 2 hours a night of just straight of tears, refusing to sleep, just really upset, really unsettled. And the last thing I want to do is just leave him to cry. I want you to know that if you're struggling, you are not alone. I'm here. I feel it too. If you have any advice that isn't like sleep training, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. And I think the only thing that I can take away, and I hope that you can take away, is that these phases, they will not last forever. And hopefully it is just a developmental thing and they will grow out of it, because, I mean, touch wood, every time he's gone through rough like periods of sleeping at night, they have all passed. Every single time. It has been hard and it's been good, and it's been hard and it's been good. And I know that it will happen again, but this 15-month-old sleep regression, if that's what it is, it really does feel to be the hardest one so far. Okay, apologies for the jump scare, and it's the next day. I'm clearly having some breakouts and I've been taking my skin and I don't have makeup on. Anyway, yesterday I filmed that video whinging about how hard sleep has been, and it's ironic because last night he woke up once and he slept for like 7 hours straight. Fed him at about 3:30 in the morning and went back to bed, and then he woke up at 6. So mind blown. We are all rested. We all went to bed at about 8 o'clock, so I had like 9 hours sleep last night, and I'm in shock because this whole thing about like they will sleep when they're ready, or if they're not sleeping, they're waking up all the time. Something is wrong. Something is bothering them. And he woke up today and he has got 2, like, I don't know if they're molars or what. They're not the canines, but they're big, massive swellings that he's had over the past month have finally had a tiny little something pop through. So I think over the past week he's been struggling with teething. Just have empathy with your kid, because I think that's something that people always forget about, is like people jump straight to whinging and moaning about their kids, being like it's their fault, they're a bad sleeper, and labelling them. And it's not about them being a bad sleeper, it's about them being a child, them being a baby going through developmental leaps, teething, all this stuff. They've got like 20 teeth or something to come through and they all hurt, so it's a bit rough for them. So yeah, give them a bit of benefit of the doubt, empathise, and it will pass, because I know it will. And hopefully tonight is the same. And on that note, if you agree with what I'm saying, please give it a like, comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.